Hello Pisces, and welcome to your April reading. So pandemic edition, I guess. So don't forget that for those of you who are listening this on Friday the 3rd, that we have live tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So come and visit. Also guys, if you would like me to do some type of fireside chat kind of a thing, which is not tarot based but it's rather community based, that we play games, or one person actually offered to teach Kundalini yoga so we can bring different skills that we can do with shelter in place, let me know. Your comments and suggestions are really welcome. And also, if you want to be invited to one of those fireside chats, you need to be a subscriber, because only that way you're going to see my message announcing this is coming live. That's it. What do we see here? Ooh, we have Sky Kitten and we have Sea Kitten, and then we have a Sky King and Fire Kitten. People. Freaking people freaking out. Which one is the first major? The first major is Judgment, and it's also reversed. It almost looks like that you are living on some kind of, like, let's call it tectonic bomb. Like, I mean, it's and you're just like waiting for it to freaking go off. And you have like freaking fire. They're all kittens. When they're kittens, so it could be that there is an adult in a situation, but this adult is like spoiled to the core. But the other three people also, they're acting just like kids, and everybody wants what it wants. It almost could be a case of a cabin fever over here for you. So I don't know if this is the case. We will figure it out. So let's start. Well, at least you're starting with a wheel. The wheel is the Wheel of Fortune, and Wheel of Fortune is, hey, fortune is on your side. But now this is really tricky, right? Because we can influence our luck, but when we influence our luck, it's very temporarily, just the nature of the luck, right? So this is basically saying, are you going to do anything with it, or are you not going to do anything with it? So it's really, really important to take this in account. So you really need to put the pedal to the metal over here, because you're getting Chariot. I don't know if you're dealing with Jupiter influences or with anybody who is born in sign of Cancer, because that's clearly their astrology behind this. But this is clearly also talking about being very hopeful, being kind of like really uplifted. It's a little kind of like spiritual, but kind of like things are happening which are happening because of luck, not so much because of let's say hard labor. So finally it's producing results. You cannot connect the dots, right? So this is unexpected, but it's telling you you really need to go with it. So when something happens to you, you go, right? You need to figure out what is in that area that you really need to work with, right? I'm going to give you an example, right? I had one of my backup hard drives corrupted. So I have a backup drive to basically back up my main computers, and you don't expect backup drive to be corrupted. So I called the data retrieving services. It was like $2,000. I said, $2,000? It's kidding. So I typed Seagate. I'm going to say which company, because it was actually a really good result, and it shows that the drive is under warranty. So I called them and I said, yep, but drive is under warranty, but not data. We can also retrieve data about the same price, right? So I said, well, this is the idea of buying a backup drive that you're using so rarely, once a week, and you expect that it's not going to break down because A, you're not using it very often, 2, what's the point? So anyway, I asked for them to revisit that case and hope that you're going to do something, but actually I really didn't hope. So I haven't heard from them, and then we started having this pandemic, and it was all normal. Everybody is just running for basically a cover. And then they're calling me back and saying, we are going to waive the retrieval fees. We're going to do it for you. And not only will we do that for you, but we are going to send you this retrieve drive on a new, basically outside hard disk, and one more drive. Something like, oh my gosh, what happened? I clearly didn't do anything to deserve this. So this is kind of like one of those moments that might be happening to you, something completely unexpected. And I had 2 of them, but for lots of money happening this month, and I'm already seeing that pattern. You need to start watching patterns. Last month I was picking up 10 cents, 20 cents, and I was like each time saying, I'm lucky, I'm a money magnet, right? and now this is getting to these thousands of dollars already. Well, I'm hoping to get to millions, but I'm obviously on my it's a long kind of like track. But this is, guys, when you start feeling lucky, when you're actually feeling that can happen to me, which obviously means that something in the past, I'm just trying to say, maybe shook things up. You have the Tower reversed. This is really interesting. These two cards are very similar vibration, and that's to some extent warning a little bit, because Tower upright is never pleasant. It's kind of like something shakes up, something really happens, you have a car accident, somebody dumps you, you just realize something really meaningful, that you realize you cannot continue the way it was. One of those moments when you really realize, hey, whatever I was thinking up to this point, I was foolish. This is falsity, right? I cannot really go in that direction. But when Tower reverses, we know that this is wrong for us. We know that we should not eat that whole box of chocolate. We still do it. Or worse yet, we're completely clueless. We completely don't understand, right? You have these people telling other people how to behave, and nobody's saying anything to them because they're like, hey, did you not check yourself, kind of a thing. So be very careful. But this one is upright. So this is kind of like what I said, it could be a warning, because you are getting results that you want, and it's also possible even in negative situation, and hence you are thinking, well, everything is okay, I'm on the right path. So let's see what else shows up, and we will clarify this one. Four of Fire, it could mean that you have reached some kind of consensus in a relationship or at your place of work, where now you're understanding that you actually, A, maybe need to earn more money, or B, that I don't know, maybe you're moving in with someone, maybe sheltered in place is like, hey, let's shack it up, let's make it, kind of thing. I heard the story this morning that people got married today, which I'm pretty sure the fan is going to, crap is going to explode, proverbial fan, blah, blah, blah. Because we now have, no more than two people, and you have to keep distance, 2 meters or 6 feet. It's just a little bit less than 2 meters. But then you have, this Sea Queen. I think that could be you. And I'm wondering, guys, you're Pisces, right? You're, very intuitive. Are you feeling moody? Are you feeling, oh my freaking God? Really feels like death, really feels like weird. You're picking up all these emotions, you are trying to figure out what's wrong. It's nothing that you can point a finger to, and this simply could mean that freaking Tower we're all going through. Maybe you're simply in denial of how serious it is, or maybe you're not capable or willing to really look into that because you would freaking fall apart. We all have been in these kind of situations where you're just saying, oh, I don't want to know, he or she's cheating. I don't want, no, it's not happening, just because you need to bide your time and you're stronger to deal with that. I'm not saying this is happening to you so far. I don't see that. We did see lots of people. Remember? Freaking people. What is this? Where are they? Where are they? Remember all these little cards that we saw over here? All of these people? So people are pissing you off, I would say. You're everybody. Maybe you have been there for them, and now maybe it's time for them to help you. Maybe you need help. Maybe you don't have a car. Maybe somebody needs to give you a lift. Maybe, stuff like this happens, and they're not there. They're not there for maybe whatever reason, maybe selfish reason, or maybe there's something that is truly valid to them for some reason. But you have lots of people, and accumulation of that kind of stuff. It's really interesting. You also have the Four of Sea, and you have a Four of Fire, which is really telling me that you were trying to stabilize yourself for a while. But you are also trying to stabilize yourself, that you feel comfort within your own spirituality. Does it make sense to you? What I mean is that you want to find pragmatic solutions, but you do not want to deny who you are and what you really want to believe in. And then you have Ace of Sea. Look, you're going from 10 to 1. This is ruling, and so far is working really well. This is such a good ace for you. It's almost like you're saying, everything that I have, I should be happy. I should be happy. Look at all these people, they're really falling apart. So why am I not happy? Why is this? Everything that is happening to me is happy. I should be lucky. I should be this. Maybe you're one of those lucky ones, still having a job or some ways to land on your feet and so on and so forth. Look, we have another 7. So there is like the spiritual. You are getting messages from your guides. This is really telling me that you are lacking patience and that you're highly irritable. There are lots of bad words that, like, you are snapping at somebody, or somebody snaps at you, you snap back, which is not generally something that you do. So these kind of like energies would be very prevalent this month. Yet somehow you'll be skating around, and so far I don't see they will have major impact on you, other than you'll be irritable, you'll be impatient, and you don't like arguing. You just feel this is almost like tearing apart the fabric of who you are. And this is your outside. You have the Strength reversed. It's really now getting interesting, because you're going from 7 to 8, but this one reversed. So this one wants to go back to the situation. And this is kind of like, I'm calling this caving in situation. You want to go back to the place which was nice, warm and cozy, and where you had no problems. This also could mean that there is like talk about some kind of commitment, which I can see it here. Maybe something got in the way, because this also card could mean solo and single, and saying I need to figure out things for myself before I do any of that. Because when this card turns around, then you're like moving into that commitment, and you have like all the 7, 7, 7. The 7s to me, like, just think about that you are in the cage. Whatever you are, you're around the tigers, Joe Tiger, whatever. What they call him, Joe Exotic from the Tiger King, or even Retreat. Like, all of these people in the Tiger King were freaking losers. If you didn't watch the series, yeah, I'm pretty sure you will. We will all watch it, being kind of like stuck at home. But this is when you're in that cage, and whether you're like dipped in the water and the sharks are like swimming everywhere around you, or you're outside and all these lions and tigers are trying to get a piece of you. They smell the blood. They want it. You can see the aggression hitting the freaking cage. But you know that the iron is going to keep you safe. It's going to move that's going to be impact the tower, but you will be safe, right? Just don't put the arm out. But that's a protective spiritual cage. And I've seen people want to get better career. People want to do that. Hello, Sapphie. People want to, get a better relationship. People want to move ahead wherever they are. And somehow it feels like no matter what they do, I just keep coming back, right? Losing weight, no matter what you do, you keep coming back to the original weight. It's spiritual protection, because sometimes you can force it. When you force it, all of a sudden things don't actually really work out, which is really, really interesting, because you are not happy where you are. You want to get freaking out of the situation. It doesn't feel comfortable. These people seem to be like, having some kind of like attacking energies, or verbally abusive energies, or they're like not emotionally supportive. Like, it just simply doesn't work for you in more ways than one. But you also are not getting something, and that maybe tells me that, hey, all along these people were that way. All along they didn't even bother to wear their masks. Which part you didn't get, right? So now it's almost like awakening of some sort. And that's maybe why the luck there is, because for you to get it, it's very, very important. Because maybe somebody doesn't want to commit. Maybe somebody doesn't want to give you an answer. Maybe somebody, this also can talk about aggression and anger. So you're like really feeling that, hey, what is wrong with all of you? Like, right? I was there for you, so what is really happening right now? So your hopes and fears is the Priest. This is really good. The Hierophant card in Tarot, it talks about that morality, the core, the good. But that doesn't come inherently to people. It comes through basically teachings. It comes through your family. It comes through the religious leaders. It comes through, I don't know, possibly channels like this, if you kind of like find it's in vibration with who you are and what you believe in, right? This, I really think, hopes and fears. You're really hoping that you are kind of rolling in the same direction with someone, that you have the same 10 commandments, whatever you wanna, whatever like a method you're following, right? Whatever is your universe, your God. And it's also important that you're putting your foot down and you're saying, these are my rules. And this is why I'm ticked off. This is why I'm emotional. This is why I'm bursting into crying, because I feel that my rules are continuously violated. You have to go for what you want. It looks to me that maybe it's either you or somebody that wants commitment and the other party doesn't, or that you are meeting people who are great for a while and then all of a sudden you see a different side of them, which is not appetizing at all, right? It could be kind of like that kind of stuff, but in all of that, you're kind of like getting out of the situation a little bit unscathed. So it's kind of like working out for you. Look at this, another 7, yay, 7, 7, 7, 7. So all of together, 4 times 7, right, is adding to 28, and 2 and 8 is 10, and 10, 1 and 0. We have the 10, we started with 10, it's 1. So we are back. Remember I told you, like, it's a circle and it's a protective freaking cage. Here we are. You need to defend who you are. You need to defend, look at this. Kitty is saying, okie dokie, maybe it's more of you, but hey, I am on the higher ground. I see more. I can see where you're trying, what you're trying to basically get together. No, Sapphie, I spent time to try to put this together. Yeah, I did spend time. Yes, you need to rub your chin on it. Yes, I know. She needs to mark her territory. So look at this. Look at this. Look at these kitty cats on the bottom. It's like everywhere, right? But even though there are 3 of them and only 1 here, and that's a girl, by the way, do you know how I know? 3 color, very rare, only in like 0.2% would be male. So she is telling them off you go, my territory, my house, get off my rules. So this is really telling you it's going to be the energy where you're going to have to reinforce certain thing that you felt it has been reinforced already. So that's why you have a 4 of fire, and then you have the priest mirroring each other over here, because you already felt, hey, I know it intuitively, we are going in a certain direction, things are going to work out, and then like things are not necessarily working out, and you're seeing maybe another side of somebody, and it's not really what you really hoped for or wanted to see it, and maybe you're having second thoughts about this whole situation. I'm sorry, you see, a little bit of touch by the kitty cat and we kind of like mess it up. So let me check this tower, and this kind of like really jumped at me, just like this tower. So we see a young woman, we see enemy, we see haughtiness, and we see consolation. You know, this all could be an issue of vanity, that you are basically going through your middle-age crisis, that you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm not as pretty as I am, and it feels a little bit kind of like display situation. This also could mean that you're not trusting someone entirely. You are wondering if maybe, especially if maybe they just came out of a relationship, or somehow they vanish on weekends or something, if something else is going on, right? So this is the same card as I told you over here. It's consolation. He is just keeping busy, watching the ships passing by, reading his paper, drinking his tea, whatever. He's clearly a gentleman. And then the angel shows up and says, hey dude, want money? Oh sure. How about power? Here. So it's clearly something you didn't deserve, and something that is happening that you're really gladly taking. And that could be simply that somebody's seeing you as more lucky than they are, and hence they become very reactive to that. It's kind of like, you don't know how lucky you are. It was one Seinfeld episode when Elaine was dating that dude, and anything he did, he was getting like lucky, and not getting lucky in that way. It's just kind of like he was getting all the best possible results, and Elaine was trying to explain to him, no, this is not what normal people are experiencing. What do you mean? He just couldn't comprehend this. So if you're getting it this month, enjoy it. It's very rare. You're getting this, and you're getting this because you're in this protective box. Maybe there's going to be something you need to deal with later. You need to reinforce your rules. You have to define your rules to see what you're doing, in which direction you're going. Maybe it is about someone who is close in your life that you really don't know what to do. Maybe you're having difficulty with this person in terms of how to proceed it further. Maybe you want it more, or you're not even sure. I picked up one more card for you, and it's soulmate, talking about somebody else. This is an interesting card. It is belonging not to heart chakra, but to base chakra. Look at this, talk to the hand. This also, we can see the third eye over here. This card is telling a story about a man who wants to say goodbye to his girlfriend. And he's so well versed at that. He's going to tell her, she's going to cry, and it's going to be 3 minutes, and he's free. He's free forever. But this time, he tells this to this girl, and she bursts into crying and says, but I love you, and you love me. And he's stuck. This is not the response he got before. It was pure emotion that you could cut, right? And he knew that just 3 more seconds, he'll be free. But he could not proceed anymore because she did. It's just like a string, you know, you kind of like how you fine-tune the piano. It's kind of started to resonate. He now realizes, oh my God, yes, I love her. And the freedom that he wanted would be really empty without her. So this is a very important card. It's kind of like, where is your ground? That's what I see here in this combination. So guys, for you to enjoy the beauty of a rose, you really must risk that you're like being pricked by the thorns, right? It comes, that yin and yang. So what is your truth? What is your lie? What is it you are willing to work with that is really not meant for your best interest? You need to speak your truth. You need to choose love, but not somebody who quote unquote can offer it to you, but true love. It has to be the right thing or nothing. You know how Mercedes says, the best or nothing. So this is something that talks, maybe it's you who is going to resist this commitment. Maybe it's you who is now seeing some other side of someone, and now the outcome is not going to be something that has already kind of like took place. Almost like you had this line and then something takes you off and you're going completely in a different direction. So guys, you need to be trusting yourself. You need to know that also if somebody loves you, or if you love somebody, that if you need to work on something or some items, that the best incentive to do that is being in love. And that's how you really know what really love is. Would love to hear your comments, my dear Pisces. Please do not forget, tomorrow 11 Eastern Standard Time we have live, so join us. Also tell me in the comments if you think that some kind of free coaching sessions, including some kind of like different things, and people demonstrating things, that's what happens when you're trying to fix the hair while talking, if that would be appealing to you. And if you have any comments, I was also thinking that maybe I will just pull the card, and then we will all, not so much the school, but sort of like we would see where this card fits for our lives, and something short, half an hour. Would love to hear from you guys. Hold your ground, because that's going to be really important for you in this time period, and make sure that it's the true love. And you know, your true love is, for me, I love you. Talk to you soon.